Hello, and welcome to another round of Sarah Sabin's question time. And today's question is, Sarah, how do I convince someone or a group of people of X? X being what I would like to bring them around to seeing. The first thing to say here is obviously there are practical steps that you can take to be more influential in regards to other people. So, developing your executive presence, taking your communication skills to the next level are all important factors in being able to influence and persuade other people. However, what I'm going to talk about in this video is something that gets talked about less, and that is the energy behind I have to convince someone of X. Many years ago now, one of my favorite transformational coaches, Rich Litvin, said the mantra, needy is creepy. And that has stuck with me forevermore because it applies in so many spheres of life. Neediness from other people is a repellent energy, it's off-putting. So whether it's from someone that you are dating or have dated, whether it is from a friend or family member, whether it is from someone within a work environment, whether it is from someone trying to sell you something and you really feel that they're needy about it, you can feel that they are, and that is off-putting. Now, why am I saying this? Because essentially, when you're saying I'm trying to convince someone, if it is coming from the energy of, I really, really need this, it starts to become off-putting. So, point one, check your energy. Are you being really needy about whatever it is that you're trying to convince the other person of? And if so, how can you emotionally balance out that neediness that you feel? So, how can you find, for example, the negative points of being able to convince someone of the opposite so that you feel more emotionally neutral towards it and stop seeing this thing as potentially the end of the world? That's point one. Point two, there is a law of opposing forces going on here. So, you might also have heard about this through a concept called reverse psychology. So reverse psychology works because you're essentially not telling someone what to do, or you are telling them what to do by telling them, hey, go do this. And they're like, great, you're trying to tell me what to do. I'm going to do the opposite. So with this law of opposing forces, the more you try and foist your opinion on other people, and you're really, really attached to getting them to listen to that opinion, the more likely they are to not see your point of view, to start seeing the opposite, to be argumentative, so to completely go the other way. And that obviously is not going to work in your favor. Now, I'm not saying go the reverse psychology route, although you might want to do that, but be aware that the more you try and convince someone of something and your emotion starts piling in as well, so you start attaching all these things to being able to convince the other person, the more likely they are to go the other way. So, for example, children that grow up in a very, very religious household will quite often rebel and go the other way. Or if you're telling your teenager, don't smoke, don't smoke, don't smoke, hey, what are they going to do? They might, they might actually start smoking. So, when you're getting too pushy, take a step back, back off, and acknowledge that you're doing that because it is likely to not get you what you want. So, two very quick things. that you can do to basically start to get back into an emotionally neutral state in relation to whatever you're trying to convince the other person of. Because remember, whatever you feel is going to come across in some way, in the way that you're speaking, in your non-verbal communication. And if I was to summarize this very succinctly, I would say the main message here is just chill out. Chill out because that is actually going to help your case, not hurt it.